and you see them delivering them straight out of the box onto the client. My client would probably freak out if I delivered this wig-looking thing. So always, pre-prep it, get rid of the coatings on them from the factories. Make sure the hair is curl-wise what you want, because when you see them coming out of that box, they look nothing like it when you wash that hair. So. Good thing Gilberto's not left-handed.
I have to tilt my head or stand on my head.
The shape of scissors are different if you use different heights.
Yeah, exactly. They don't the blades backwards. A lot of hairdressers learn to cut right-handed because there's not that many left-handed shears. So. If you have the right density with the hair, you can pretty much do whatever you want with this hair. Just treat it like a normal haircut if you're a stylist already. Right now I'm just getting rid of hair I don't need. It's going to be in my way.
No, they were not for me.
不是客人，他们是那个在那展可能过来看看是不是有没参加那个想让去参加那个展会。意大利的，他是意大利的那个Cosmoprof，要打招呼吗？看着他出来我就想点。
就是他什么在招商
啊，对，就类似于招商。他们是负责不同的那个区域的，他是美国区域的，我估计要不然就是，哎，这个好像要个
找美国区域的线下。
What's nice about hair today, we've gotten thinner densities, so it looks a lot more realistic for the client. I remember when I first started wearing hair, I went home, I was shaving him with a goatee, and I modeled for one of the companies, and I went home and I felt like, wow, like there's a lot of hair there. So I kind of explain it like a woman taking her eyelashes or her eyeliner off, her face disappears. So it's the same kind of thing, taking a mustache off, the face. So it's just that extreme and the opposite. When you put this hair, the guy feels like, oh my God, I've got so much hair. So less is more.
And they work with skin base. What makes it so special?
Skin base for me is so much more user-friendly. A lace looks great photography-wise if you're a daily wear client, but again, my clients wear every single day. So when they have to go home and they have to maintain their own hair at home and do the front hairline, let's say, and they lift that front hairline up and try to remove that adhesive that's breaking down and turning to slime or whatever you want to, you start rubbing that, well, it starts pushing through the lace and goes up into the hair. Well, now you got another problem. You got glue on top of the system. So, or then it pulls the hair back through because it's knotted on, and it comes back through. So now you're losing hair in the system. So with the skin base, I use very thin. I use the 0.03, really skin base, thin skin base, which looks incredible when you get it on point. But the client can lift it up and easily remove the adhesive. Or if the client maintains their own hair at home, they can take it off, put it in some hot water, let it sit there, take it, put it upside down, and it just rolls right off and cleans up very easy. Lose a little Dawn dishwasher detergent, and you got clean and ready to go. It's all about making it easy for the client. If it's not easy for the client, you're going to get frustrated and go, I'm done. I'm going back to shaving my head and wearing a baseball cap. So they don't want to do that, but they also don't want to work hard for their hair. So it's really, and it's also easier for me because they're not calling me all the time going, Steve.
Great to know.
So everybody's life is easier. When I first got into the industry, I would be on stage and people ask questions from the industry and they're being sued. And I'm like, why are you being sued? Because they promised something they couldn't deliver. So I always live in the world of under-promise, over-deliver. So you promise too much, then they're expecting this much. So you under-deliver, and they're going, wow, this is better than you told me it was going to be.
Trying to see the
So,
live?
it's a much easier life to live. I used to tell them, I go, I don't fight over hair in my salon. We talk about food and sex. So I have fun. But it's been a great business. I was a regular stylist for 10 years.
I can see it on the.
I started doing hair extensions in the 80s. Gilberto and I, we were like one of the original people from hair extensions back in the day, called Mega Hair, which turned into Great Lengths hair extensions eventually. Salvatore Mega, an older gentleman, has been around the beauty industry for a long time. He's passed away. He decided he worked in the beauty school and saw all the ethnic girls, all the blonde hair, trying to. And he said, you know what? Let me try something. So he tried it, and next thing you know, we're doing hair extensions in Caucasian salons. And back then, it was mostly pole dancers and theater people that was doing it. The black industry would stay within their own because they've been doing it since they were little kids. But Oprah in the 90s put hair extensions on, and everybody in the world now knew what hair extensions were. And the world changed.
Leave it to Oprah.
Yes. And so I started out with women's hair replacement. I had a client that had very, very thin hair. We tried hair extensions on her. It didn't work. Her hair was too thin. She was too much bald on top. So I started looking for other products for her. I stumbled upon one of the manufacturers. I went there. They told me I couldn't do it. I do men's hair, I do women's hair, and they're not going to come to me. So, anyways, long story short, here I am 35 years later and doing women and men both. Sorry? Most of the time, I usually kind of direct it because, people always come in with this. When I do women's hair, women always bring these pictures in, and they go, I want this. So my first question is, okay, if I go to your bathroom right now, what's your counter look like? Do you have curling irons, blow dryers, makeup? Okay, you're going to be able to do this because you're willing to spend the time. Or you're a typical Floridian that just gets out of the shower, puts her hair in a bun, and off she goes. Because if you're not going to be able to do that hairstyle, it takes curling. I can do that, but you're never going to do that at home. So it's the same thing here. What's this guy really going to do at home? I mean, I can make him look as jacked up as possible, but can he do this when he goes home? Because if he can't, he's going to be pissed at me. It's like I used to say, this is the hardest art that I've done a lot of art in my life. This is the hardest art form because the canvas speaks. You buy a picture or a painting that you don't like, they stick it in a closet. This guy goes in his mirror and goes, I hate Steve. So, and then he's going to come in, he's going to beat me up at the same time. So, you got to kind of work with the client. You say, okay, look, this is what it's going to take. You're not going to get up in the morning and blow dry your hair every day, and you're not going to like this hairstyle. And a lot of times they'll do it, but then they go, you're right, cut it shorter. And they usually go to a shorter haircut.
So, and what do you do when the client asks you for too short hair?
Too short?
Yeah.
Well, there really is no too short. Because like I said, with the thin skin systems and the thin densities, there's no too short. Because as long as my densities match between the client's growth hair and the system, I can take this down to nothing. Really, really tight, really short. So too short, not a problem. In fact, the client just basically wets it and off they go. It's easy. So, is that what you meant? Kind of? No. Okay. What do you mean? Go a little further.
No, I do, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But they said they had a girl, right?
But all of my women, I do extreme hair loss for women. I don't do women that just have fine, thin hair. There's too many toppers and hair extension people out there today that does that. So my women are really bald women, and so I do the same thing with them. I shave whatever hair they have left on top of the head, and we bond this thing down, and it becomes part of them. They have a scalp, they have a hairline if they want, they have everything they really need, and because not everybody wants bangs, and so this allows them my women to have the same exact thing. We're never going to do that. Women are actually easier to shave their head because they have to deal with a lot more things personally through life as a young child and growing up than men do. Men just shave. Women have all these other things they have to maintain. So women are much more understanding when it comes to that. And a lot of men are disillusioned of how much hair they have left. Years ago, I had a client bring her boyfriend in, and so he asked me a question. He says, "So what do you do with the hair on top of my head?" And she looks at him and goes, "What hair?" So. Well, again, if the density is so much easier, because you have a lot of hair and you got to keep just pulling hair out in order to get it down to, it's a lot of work. And when I first got into this, everything was 120 densities, 110% density. I would spend 30 minutes just taking the hair out to get it down to what the client would be comfortable with. So, like I said, less is more is much better. My clients, they go through a new system every 4 to 8 weeks.
Definitely need a different chair.
So,
Yeah, exactly.
stand up.
Yeah.
Then what you want to do is, and I see this a lot in hair extensions today, they basically have one length of hair. You need to go in and create great links. Your hair is what gives it movement, but when you have just one length of hair, it's just flat. It's hot, it's heavy. So I always go in with like a razor or whatever. With this, I just go in here and I do like a 45 degree.
Yeah.
And I just kind of create my shorter links at an angle. Because here you only have two links, or two tails. Yeah, it just starts disappearing, exactly. That's the magic. That's
Good.
and then it's back. But, yeah. he'll need a chiropractor after this.
Other than that, I'm good.
You're 15 years young.
Uh-huh.
You need to put on your hair.
That's, I mean, this is really the extreme makeover. I mean, you take somebody and you really make them look a different person.
We do, yeah.
And some people I've had clients that just, they have a baby face, but you don't know it until you put this on their head.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow, you look 20. Are you doing hair replacement currently in your salon? Are you doing any hair replacement currently in your salon?
My English is very regular. I understand very well. I'm a salon in Spain.
Okay.
And I work with
I'm sorry.
You haven't just entered the
One, educate yourself. Don't be afraid of it. It's just hair. And communication is a huge part of it. The client really needs to trust. They're very anxious when they sit in the chair.
As my leg starts moving up and down.
I said, my clients go every 4 to 8 weeks and change. Or do you mean, are you mean just take it on and off, clean it?
Change.
Or totally new, all new? 4 to 8 weeks is the life of it. Yeah. 8 weeks, depending on their lifestyle, that makes the determination. If they're really outdoor and active all the time, or they comb their hair too much, 4 weeks is way more
But
realistic.
the hair's lost.
Exactly.
Kind of nice.
And the hair is human hair, but the hair is very processed. So you can go out in the sun and it will lighten up a lot. So, but if you put color back in it, it's going to wash right back out. So again, you're not going to get that longevity. So I don't even mess with all that. We just throw it away and get new hair. So, and the client is fine with that. Because the clients, when they first got into this, hair pieces would last 2 to 3 years. They didn't, but they sold them the last 2 or 3 years. And so I didn't wear hair at the time, and so I asked my clients, I just interviewed them. Okay, you've been wearing hair a long time. What is it you like, and what is it you don't like? So they all said the same thing. I really like the hair when I first put it on because it's really soft, it's really shiny, it's really nice. But it's got way too much hair. I feel like I got a wig on my head. They really like it when they're going to get ready to take it off and get a new one because now all the hair is falling out and they have hair that looks like it belongs to them. But now the texture is crappy and burnt and dry. So when I got into the industry, I said, well, let's kind of rechange this formula because you guys are systems for $2,500 to $3,000 for one piece. So the guy, of course, he didn't want to throw it away. Back then, I changed the mentality, and he would sell them for $300 to $500 a month. So, at the end of the day, or every other month, they're paying the same amount of money. At the end of the day, they're looking good. Versus for 3 months looking good, 2 months looking good, and then for the year and a half, because they paid so much money for it, they're going to keep it as long as they possibly can. But they walk around looking like crap. So, why? You're paying a lot of money to look good. This is why you're doing this. So like I said, it was hard because the old guys had sold it. So this is so valuable. This is gold, right? And now I'm telling them, oh, it's terrible. It's throwaway hair. Same hair. We're just going to throw it away. So it kind of took their credibility away a little bit. But once they did it, okay, I get this. This is great, So just re-educating the client. Today is a little easier. Your young guys are a lot more cosmetic than back in the 90s when I first started doing this. So it was harder to get guys to do it. Today, your 30-year-olds are putting Botox, arching their eyebrows, threading their eyebrows. I mean, nobody in my generation has threaded their eyebrows. They're like, oh, you're a big sissy, So, but now it's a thing. I think a lot of guys look a little too feminine doing it, but that's my thing. The sell of this is so much easier today because the man is so much more cosmetic than he ever was. So I always have 2 pieces for my clients, just in case something happens. Because these skin bases were so thin, they will rip and tear. So, so if there's ever a 911, it's always got something in line to help you get by. In stock.
They see how weight it is and then But you know what you could do? Probably lock them too, learn how to market too. You can like grow their business and literally grow their business.
I mean, I could do that too, but that would take more like locking into my Instagram.
Yeah.
Posting more, like doing ads and shit. But there's a little bit more things that you can do too. Just not on Instagram.
Facebook marketing, all that stuff.
Hello? Hey, how you doing? Good.
Wanted to be quick, you could just take a clipper and just go zip, 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 zip. That would work just the same. then go back in and do your texturizing and defining.